In the year 1988, a game was created that told the story of a young warrior named Simon Belmont and his quest to destroy the Count Dracula and his goons of evil. This story has been named Castlevania. Since then, the story has been retold and rehashed a number of times to create a very successful series. In each story, warriors use a variety of weapons such as axes, spells, and a whip named the Vampire Killer to take on every entity of evil imaginable, such as Medusa, Lilith, and even death itself. There is a large pool of composers that have contributed to Castlevania called the Konami Kukeiha Club or Konami Square Wave Club. Today's track comes from Castlevania 3. However, we will be using a remix heard in a later game by Michiru Yamane. So grab your whips and prepare your holy water. It's time to get spooky on today's episode of Stick to Games. Hey everybody, Kenny Jr. here. Welcome back to Stick to Games. In today's spooktacular Halloween episode, we're going to be covering Michiru's arrangement of Overture, originally from Castlevania 3. This is the mix that was put into Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. We're tackling this one today because it's in a very interesting time signature. I believe this one is in 11/4. Playing in alternate time signatures is a lot of fun for drummers, but it's also very important for us in our development. With the trend in music moving more towards being able to showcase your diversity as a drummer, alternate time signatures are a great way to stand out. It shows that you're comfortable with getting outside of 4/4, 3/4, 2/4, all of these common time signatures. It shows that you're comfortable with getting into that. And if you want to play as a drummer live for one of these gigs, they want to see someone who can adapt to these types of signatures and still be able to put some feel into it. We're going to be learning some main things such as keeping the one and also how to be doing some small embellishments here and there. So we're going to take this one to the set now. So after a short pickup measure, we're going to jump straight into measure 1. Measure 1 outlines the primary groove that we're going to be dealing with. It's pretty straightforward. So what we're going to do, just to practice getting the feel down, I'm going to first run through this while only keeping the hi-hat, and we're going to try to get that countdown for 11. Next, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the rests that are in the hi-hat part, as well as the open and closes. The 11/4, it may feel kind of foreign, especially to beginners that are trying alternate time signatures for the first time. The key point here is to always remember the 1. Let's try it with the kick drum now and see if finding the 1 gets a little bit easier. Now we're going to try it with all 3 together. The snare drum comes in at pretty odd counts, so the most important thing and the most helpful thing you can do for yourself here is to definitely count. Count out every single downbeat that you have coming up. Alright, and there you have it, the primary backbeat of the 11/4 sections. I'm going to cover a couple of the quick fills that they have here. So towards the end of measure 2, we hear pretty much the same thing that we hear as a pickup. It's just a sweep going down from high, mid to low tom. And it has two 16th notes and an 8th note. Call that cantaloupe. Cantaloupe. The second of these fills, which comes towards the end of measure 4, the fill for this one begins on count 10, and you have two 16th notes that go from your mid to your high, and an 8th note that goes to your low, and then you go from mid to high in 8th notes. Cantaloupe, apple. Alright, so now I'm going to play the primary groove and attach these two fills at the end of it. Again, remember to count. Okay, and that should give you a pretty good sense of the way the fills work in this particular one. So now we're going to go ahead and cover the time change. So the 12/4 section, once again, is fairly straightforward. Your hi-hat and snare drum pretty much play the call and answer game, and you have some quarter notes, also 8th notes alternating in the kick drum, so nothing too difficult. And then you have yet another time change to 4/4 for a quick little section, a quick little build-up, back to the finishing 12/4 section, which is also fairly straightforward. So I'm going to just go ahead and run through these three last bars slowly, and I'm going to pick it up. Alright my friends, and that's pretty much all there is to this one. So we're just about ready to run a top down now. Key points to remember. Always remember the 1, and to do that, you must always count. If you will do those two things, you'll pretty much master any time signature out there, whether it's traditional or not traditional. So if you guys are ready, let's take this one on. Alright everyone, and that just about covers up everything we've had to talk about here today. So those alternate time signatures, your key points are going to be to always remember the 1 and always remember to count. If you can handle that, you'll be able to take on any time signature you come across. Even something really crazy like 15/8 or something. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I really hope you guys can go and like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also leave some comments if you have any requests on future video game compositions you would like for me to do a lesson on, or if you just want to chat and ask me a question or anything. My comments are wide open. And I wish everyone to have a happy and safe Halloween for those of you who celebrate, and for those of you who don't, well, I sure hope you can still at least enjoy your candy anyway. Till next time.